Macmillan Audio presents The Snow Queen by Michael Cunningham. Read for you by Claire Danes.
Empty, vast, and cold were the halls of the Snow Queen. The flickering flame of the northern lights could be plainly seen, whether they rose high or low in the heavens, from every part of the castle. In the midst of its empty, endless hall of snow was a frozen lake, broken on its surface into 1,000 forms. Each piece resembled another, from being in itself perfect as a work of art, and in the center of this lake sat the Snow Queen when she was at home. She called the lake the Mirror of Reason, and said that it was the best, and indeed the only one in the world. Hans Christian Andersen, The Snow Queen. A night. A celestial light appeared to Barrett Meeks in the sky over Central Park, 4 days after Barrett had been mauled, once again, by love. It was by no means his first romantic dropkick, but it was the first to have been conveyed by way of a 5-line text, the 5th line of which was a crushingly corporate wish for good luck in the future, followed by 3 lowercase XXX's. During the past 4 days, Barrett had been doing his best to remain undiscouraged by what seemed lately to be a series of progressively terse and tepid breakups. In his 20s, love had usually ended in fits of weeping, in shouts loud enough to set off the neighbors' dogs. On one occasion, he and his soon-to-be ex had fought with their fists. Barrett can still hear the table tipping over, the sound the peppermill made as it rolled lopsidedly across the floorboards. On another, a shouting match on Barrow Street. A bottle shattered. The words, "falling in love," still suggest to Barrett green glass shards on a sidewalk under a street lamp. And the voice of an old woman, neither shrill nor scolding, emanating from some low, dark window, saying simply, "Don't you boys understand that people live here? People are trying to sleep?" Like the voice of an exhausted mother. As Barrett moved into his mid and then late 30s, though, the partings increasingly tended to resemble business negotiations. They were not devoid of sorrow and accusation, but they had without question become less hysterical. They'd come to resemble deals and investments that had unfortunately gone wrong, despite early promises of solid returns. This last parting, however, was his first to be conveyed by text, the farewell appearing uninvited, unanticipated, on a screen no bigger than a bar of hotel soap. "Hi, Barrett. I guess you know what this is about. Hey, we gave it our best shot, right?" Barrett did not, in fact, know what this was about. He got the message, of course. Love and whatever future love implied had been cancelled. But "I guess you know what this is about?" That had been something like a dermatologist saying offhandedly after your annual checkup, "I guess you know that the beauty mark on your cheek, that little chocolate-colored speck that's been referred to more than once as an aspect of your general loveliness." Who was it who said Marie Antoinette's penciled-on version had been in precisely that spot? "Is actually skin cancer." Barrett responded initially in kind, by text. An email seemed elderly, a phone call desperate. So he tapped out on tiny keys. "Wow, this is sudden. How about we talk a little? I'm where I always am. XXX." By the end of the second day, Barrett had left 2 more texts, followed by 2 voicemails, and had spent most of the second night not leaving a third. By the end of day number 3, he had not only received no reply of any kind, but also had begun to realize there would be no reply at all. That the sturdily built, earnest Canadian PhD candidate, psychology, Columbia, with whom he'd shared 5 months of sex and food and private jokes, the man who'd said, "I might actually..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?